I'd so enjoy seeing this obstacle smashed to pieces. I can attack at a moment's notice, Master. Shall I assist? What is that? A tower? Nay, a statue?
We ought to take a closer look.
Hold here a moment. I shall bid them open the gate.
Who's that you've brought with you, Watchhead, sir?
An arisen, by all appearances.
An arisen? Another pretender, you mean? I see the Sovereign's ascension has done little to stop such charlatans from plying their trade.
'Tis uncertain. This one commands the loyalty of the pawns.
What? Impossible. You know as well as I do that there can be but one arisen, and he's up in the palace.
I'm well aware of how preposterous the idea is, thank you. However, as I do not believe it my place to rule on such a matter, I will make my report to the capital. If the claim is false, we will be rewarded handsomely for our trouble. If the claim is true, however, who can say? All's been arranged. Come, let us pass through the gate. An ox cart was meant to meet us, yet 'tis nowhere in sight. Aught may have befallen it. Best we press on.
I am attentive and loyal, and prefer to remain by your side. In battle, I shall follow your lead and prioritize support.
No one's coming to assail us. Mayhap we've scared them all off?
I'll take the peace and quiet over a horde of enemies any day.
Is everyone all right? More marks of the dragon's fury. Its rampage must have weakened the earth here.
No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. The early griffin gets the worm, as they say. I will protect you. I'll hold the enemy in place. That was well fought. That was impeccably timed, Arisen. An ambush! Where was the fiend hiding?
If we lose our heads, we play right into the enemy's hands.
No quarrel here.
I dare say the cart shan't be traversing this. Onward! It might await us on the road ahead.
Well done.
The sky is radiant this night. I feel at peace to gaze upon it.
Right you are.
I would fain aid you if you are in need.
Tis a pleasure to meet you. I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
Let us ponder how best...
Goblins, Master!
We have no means of exploiting our enemy's weakness.
I shan't allow any further harm to come to you. I can look forward to Sowers. Nice to hear you say so.
I concur.
Naught compares to the thrill of victory. One cannot help but feel indomitable.
Overconfidence is an enemy in and of itself. Let us instead strive to better ourselves with every battle.
This is generally used as a material.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
Such a magnificent tapestry of stars.
Right you are.
No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. An early griffin gets the worm, as they say.
Well done. These beams are only truly defeated when their skulls are smashed beyond repair.
A good sleep does wonders.
Come. We've much to be getting on with.
Feeling rested, I trust? Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients.
Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
Perhaps this will seem of little consequence, but
What's this? We're trapped. Aye! A Cyclops! To think we'd encounter one here of all places.
Cyclops! Hey, be on your guard.
cabin raided our boat.
Reckless opponents makes it easy to break.
I am well aware of it. Quickly, Arisen. You must regain your footing.
Focus. A moment of indecision may still outdo.
Now I understand. With the simplest strategy that our foe knows the walls. Knock its feet out from under it and strike air to recover soon.
I don't dare attempt it. Put your feet low, right together. I think we can manage it.
What was that sound? Fall back! You have my gratitude, sir. 'Twould seem I misjudged you. I had taken you for another false arisen. Goodness knows we see a lot of them. Yet the value you showed in coming to our aid has dispelled such thoughts. Here, take this, as a mark of my trust. Give it to one of the sentinels stationed at the gates to the capital, and you'll be granted an audience with Captain Brandt. You're free to make your own way to the capital now. I see no need to keep you under constant watch, and I'm sure you'll breathe a little easier as well, aye? Of course, if you'd rather continue to accompany us, you are still welcome to join us on the ox cart. 'Tis your decision.
This material can be used to enhance equipment, and is a rarity besides.
We shall have to think long and hard about what to do with it.
Ah, here's the cart now. Do you intend to join us? Very well. Board the ox cart and we'll be off.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier. I see a ladder yonder, but we can't reach it from here. We'll have to get up there and drop it down.
Am I the first to notice we've all got different vocations?
One should think we'll be able to counter whatever comes our way.
Let me get that.
Goblins! What rotten luck! We've need of your aid again, sir.
Goblins, master!
We got you from danger. We've the strength to prevail over anything.
I will protect you. Most impressive, Master.
Let us not get ahead of ourselves. The battle continues.
No, that was somewhat overdone, but no matter.
Can't make a living if I get myself injured.
What? You have no right.
Seems we drove them off. You've my thanks for aiding us. Vernworth isn't far from here. Will you join us the rest of the way? All right. Into the ox cart, then.
I was informed of your coming would be arisen.
Captain Brandt, this individual summoned a pawn through a rift stone. Several witnesses can attest to it. Though I admit I had my doubts at first. It would seem...
This one's not a bad sort. Saved our hides on the way here.
As decreed by the great will of our world, there can only be one arisen. That arisen now resides within the palace. Indeed, he is our sovereign and the rightful ruler of Vermont. It follows, therefore, that this ruffian before us is naught but a pretender. You must submit to questioning. If you value your life, you will not attempt to flee. I shall conduct the interrogation myself. Stand watch outside. I beg your forgiveness for my insolence, Your Majesty. If the Queen Regent had learned of your existence, I fear your life would have been in peril. I had no choice but to treat you as a pretender, lest my actions draw suspicion from watchful eyes. Then you have truly lost your memory? In that case, mayhap I ought to explain the situation before we proceed. You, and no other, are the sovereign, the only legitimate ruler of this kingdom. Some days past, you confronted the dragon in the village of Melv, whereupon you became arisen. The people rejoiced, for our true liege had finally appeared, ending Vermont's long years of council rule. Yet, not all celebrated your coming. Your arrival would have robbed the Queen Regent Disa of everything. During the time of the previous consul, she acted as a queen in her own right, ruling the palace as she saw fit. And just after the consul's passing, when 'twas all but certain that her son would take his father's place, word reached the castle that the Arisen had been found. To Disa, your Majesty's very existence is naught but an obstacle to her own family's continued prosperity. The assassination of the Arisen is an impossible feat for mortal hands. Thus, Disa chose to abduct your Majesty while you recovered from your wounds, in order to rob you of your memory with a fell curse and sell you to Batal as a slave. Following that, she prepared a replacement to serve as the sovereign in your stead, a mere puppet. However, with your Majesty returned, I have no intention of twiddling my thumbs as Disa plays her games. I shall devise some plans to further our cause. Pray, visit me a night in the tavern that we might discuss them. This one's cleared of all suspicion, and has my permission to remain in the capital. You are to trouble the good sir no further. Are we clear? I do not engage in idle chatter while on duty.
Pray forgive me, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Consign it! Get back here! You there! Did you see an urchin in a cap run past just now? Can you tell me which way he went? Many thanks. I'll catch that wretch yet.
You're a kind one, aren't you? 'Twould seem I am in your debt. In fact, there's aught I would ask of you if you've the time to spare.
Aha! There you are!
Oh, apologies, but our chat will have to wait. Till next we meet. Farewell.
This one do.
Not good will come of this.
I trust you to comport yourself properly.
Oi there, friend. Care to help a fellow out? All I ask is that you hear my request. What have you got to lose? My thanks, sir. As to the matter at hand, it concerns my ox cart business. I've been holding off service on account of all the monsters on the road, but now I feel prepared to start making trips to Melve again. Only trouble is, there are still monsters about, and I can't help but worry for the safety of the carts. That's where you come in. See, I've got a letter here from Lady Margit, the Watchhead's wife, to be delivered to one Sir Leonard in Melve. I'd like you to accompany the cart in my stead and see to it that the letter reaches its recipient. What say you, friend? Splendid! I knew I was right to put my faith in you. Now, the carts only depart at certain hours of the day, but I find that time flies when I take a seat at the station to wait. And mind you, don't forget to pay your way before you board. That's standard practice, and I would advise against trying any funny business. Each cart travels with an escort of trained soldiers, see, in case it encounters any monsters out on the road. So anyone thinking of riding for free will have to take the issue up with them. But enough of my lecturing. Just make sure that letter gets to Sir Leonard, then come find me when the job's done. Oh, and I'll pay your fare this time, seeing as you're doing me a favour and all. Come find me when you've delivered that letter. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
We ought not keep the recipient waiting.
How might I liven up?
Gather round, gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay.
Aye, got some coin to spare your humble storyteller? Much appreciated.
There's a ladder here.
Ah, excellent find.
Aye, got some coin to spare your humble... What would you of me? Carla.
I've just recalled a little tidbit I heard from the locals.
Regarding the Vermundian military, yes?
Welcome to Bjorn's Armory. And quality's what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the price, just remember, misers die early deaths. Hope to see you again. I've all manner of arms for sale. Come, have yourself a look. Well met, son. How might I be of service?
The latest tidings from Melv came as quite a shock. It's been decades since the dragon last appeared. 'Twas a tragedy to those who suffered the beast's attack, to be sure, but I cannot deny it gave me a sense of hope. I thought to myself, with the dragons coming, the Arisen shan't be far behind. An end to the age of proxies at last. And indeed, we have our sovereign, though he is yet abed, nursing those grievous wounds. Still, that I would see this kingdom restored to rightful rule in my lifetime, I could weep for joy. Need anything? Stop by again soon.
Not buying? That's just as well. Better to be selective than wasteful.
Gold is a resource best spent judiciously.
Mayhap I'll nose around. See what's selling.
Good day, sir. What might you be looking for? Welcome, good sir. My services lie, should you so desire, I can help you find your truest self. Hope to see you again. Do stop and I've wares of every ilk.
I'm to head towards
The rules at your leisure.
Hasn't anyone got coin to spend?
There's ought to be said for peace.
Scarcely coin to show for it.
This might be worth a read.
Shall we take a closer look?
Say, well, if you do visit, I hear he sets out to sea on his boat, day after day. As if that wasn't queer enough. He's apt to talk your ear off about some world he believes lies beyond the sea. I cannot fathom his obsession. I suppose losing...
Pray, allow me to open yon chest.
The rules at your leisure.
Greetings. Welcome to the Guild Hall. Here we conduct all manner of procedures pertaining to vocations. If there is aught I may assist you with, simply say the word. Do come again.
Devoutness and diligence.
What are you up to? Welcome to the Star Drop. We serve all manner of fine ales here. Shall I pour you a cup to start you off? Always a pleasure.
Oh dear. What am I to do?
Well met, sir. Fancy a gander? Fine wares all
What a bizarre villagers stared at me with a bizarre intensity. It was as though they were praising me somehow.
Nightmares if I let myself worry.
You're gonna regret that.
Lying down.
Miss won't do.
He's doing about a dozen things at once. Every new meeting is an adventure in the offing.
Your Majesty, your timing is impeccable. I just thought to call for you. 'Tis not a matter for prying ears. Pray, let us speak out here.
If you wish it, I shall not move from this spot.
As I informed you when last we spoke, the palace is filled with the Queen Regent's sycophants. Should Disa denounce your Majesty as a false arisen, few would elect to doubt her. Yet if we are to prove your identity, I believe there is no occasion more suitable than the coronation. It was delayed so that the sovereign, that is, the false arisen, could convalesce in the palace, but the date has now been set. The central players in the court ought all be in attendance. 'Twould be a fine opportunity to display your Majesty's power. None would be able to deny that you are the true arisen then. Only select members of the nobility and citizens who have contributed greatly to Vermont's continued prosperity will be granted entry. If your Majesty is to be counted among them, you will need to attend to a number of tasks. Pray, allow me to summarize them for you. The citizenry have called upon my soldiers to cull monsters that plague the land. I dare say, 'twould be a fine contribution were you to accomplish these tasks unaided. What say you? Might I ask for your cooperation in this matter? I thank you, Your Majesty. There are 3 locales that have seen significant trouble of late. The first is Trevo Mine, to the northwest. We've had reports of goblins swarming in great numbers. Next is Half Village, west of Burnworth. I believe soldiers have already been dispatched to cull an infestation of saurians there. Finally, there is a call for someone to locate a group of soldiers tasked with delivering freight. They were last seen crossing the second bridge on the eastern edge of Vermont.
It is our duty to bring the beasts low.
There is much we ought to tend to if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true Arisen. You will need to infiltrate the palace to gather evidence of Deezer's misdeeds. I have attempted to do the same through my own channels for now, though I have yet to uncover so much as a whisper of her plots. Would that I could undertake the task myself, but my station prohibits me from reckless action. What say you, Your Majesty? Might I ask this task of you? I shall ensure that the door to the Queen Regent's office is open between midnight and dawn. Pray use that time to conduct your investigation.
What are you doing?
There is much we ought to tend to if we are to strengthen your Of all those who serve the Queen Regent, there is but one who I have no doubt will lend his support to your Majesty's cause. I refer to Waldar, a magistrate. Many a time has Deezer demanded Waldar amend the code of Vermont to her own benefit, and many a time has the magistrate refused her, for he is loyal to none but the spirit of the law. As our laws dictate that your Majesty is our rightful ruler. Thus, as the staunchest supporter of the law known to the palace, I'm quite confident that Waldor will be willing to vouch for your Majesty. What say you? Might you be willing to aid me in arranging the magistrate's release? I've prepared a means for you to enter the palace dungeons. Pray, take this. This mission demands the utmost secrecy. Prithee be cautious, Your Majesty. Should you be discovered, I will be unable to lend aught in the way of aid.